Jeremy. He's a corporal at this base here in Gagetown. So here we are on the base, but Jeremy became my son-in-law yesterday.
That is true.
And I've been waiting for that for a long time. This is neat. You take old tank chassis, and there's the rear of the tank chassis, right? You hook a smaller diesel up to it and make an all-terrain vehicle. Now that's thinking. I just open it up like I own the place. It's like, why not? Just open it up. That's neat. That's the old tank's clutch. The whole clutch system in here. Well, here we go. Now I gotta get off of this. Afghanistan. So this is the plastic magazine in use when I was in the Army Reserves. They don't use them anymore. They're crap because they wear out faster. They're made of some sort of engineering plastic. Now they're metal. He's never seen such a thing. Now, what does that say about me and my age? Stuff I use is in a museum. Just hope this guy doesn't bonk his head. Here's a listening radar station set up. And the old telephone that I had when I was a kid in the house. Here be an East German uniform. Here's some Soviet stuff from, these are from the Korean War, but they were all extensively used in the World War II as well. "1952 Triumph for dispatch riders." That's cool. Collapsible boat used by the Canadian Army during the Northwest Europe campaign. St. John dry dock during the war. I like they've included the Canadian equivalent of Rosie the Riveter. Here's a model of Sackville that just a few days ago, Jessica, myself, and Maria walked around in Halifax Harbor. Okay, I'm going to say unequivocally, the best part of the museum so far is the Webley, my all-time favorite revolver. Flare pistol from the ship for firing flares. There's some kit for you. Nice World War II stuff. Great models too. So here is the Hornet survival rifle, like what Stuart has. Neat. Here's a 3-inch mortar. Yeah. North Shore Regiment D-Day. Here's the old German helmet. Here's a nice World War II training aircraft. We trained a lot of the airmen from the Allies here in Canada. G, identified pilot officer volunteers from Newfoundland who flew with the Royal Air Force. Huh. Sicily, Italy, and Northwestern Europe. Look at that uniform for hot weather. This is a pretty good cabinet. What? There's also a Webley. Wow. German forces. Yes, by airman's uniform there. Wow. Here's some more German stuff. What?
Nice camera.
Here's a cool camera. Neat. Wow. Now this is an interesting drawer. Lots of little tidbits to look at in here, especially the Luger and the P8. I think P08. I'm not sure. Let's see. What is it? Number 7. Walther P38. There you go. Yep. And here we are. The binnacle and a practice depth charge. Type 94 75mm mountain gun. Wow, look how small that thing is. You know, look at the rifled barrel in there. The interesting thing, I mean, it wouldn't be effective at a long range, but it's a mountain gun, I guess.
Yeah.
Battle of the Atlantic. Oh, there's a U-boat. Ooh, scary. Aha, Kriegsmarine. Look at this guy. Madsen 20mm heavy anti-aircraft cannon. So this anti-aircraft gun was also used as an anti-tank gun by the Nazis and using it for other combat, apparently. Cool. New Brunswick Liquor Control Board liquor purchase card. Wow, that's interesting. Battle of Hong Kong. Yeah. That was a brutal battle. Here we have an Acadian chaplain from World War I. Got his Bible. Oh, neat. New Brunswick units at the front. World War I. Oh, look, the simple early gas mask. The invention of the Newfoundlander Clooney McPherson. Here's some good World War I stuff. Look at the lamp.
Gas warning.
What's that?
The gas.
Oh, gas warning. You spin it around, goes. Yeah, neat. That is cool. And the Webley Mark I. And here we have a patrol dress tunic, New Brunswick Dragoons. And look at the helmet and the uniform. That's neat. His hair is probably not standard. But alas, we open the bottom, and look, there's the Webley that mine is modeled after. Mark VI of 1915. This handgun became the handgun of the British Empire in World War I. I am super excited to see this old Webley. My favorite. I just love them. Kind of hard to see because it's of the lighting. Hello, here we are. I'm in the video now. But on the top, you got your regular SMLE, Lee Enfield. I got a few of those, but they're not with all the original wooden stock. Here we've got your Ross, fully stocked Ross. I've got a Ross as well, but it's not got all the front wood on it anymore. Here's your Mauser Gervar, I don't know if I'm pronouncing Gervar 98, which was the standard rifle of the infantry in World War I for the Germans. And on the bottom is your Mauser anti-tank rifle. It's giant. I don't know if we can get it, but it's giant. Oh, here. Yeah, neat. And here we got some trench stuff built. That's neat. Oh, yeah. That's a good scene, actually. I like that. Here's with your nursing sister. Nice. You're looking through the trench periscope?
Nah.
Yeah, you don't really see anything except the rest of this building. Here we go, German Forces, World War I. Yeah, they had cool helmets, so I have to say. Nice. And here's the Picoloba. I don't know how you pronounce that. Here we have the German World War I stuff. Here's an old Luger. Oh, and here's the one with the long barrel. I forget why. And the artillery Luger with the long barrel. Here we have First World War artillery uniform. Yeah, that's a shiny helmet. 71st York Regiment, 1910. There's a nice uniform. That's a cool uniform. Oh, here we go. Second Boer War. Yep. And of course, they would have used the Lee Medford Rifle, which was similar to the Lee Enfield, except Lee was involved in the design, but instead of Enfield, it was Medford, and they made the barrel was slightly different because they fired the same size. I mean, the case was the same, the British .303 round, only it wasn't smokeless powder, it was black powder. Royal Canadian Dragoons. And here, ooh, there's Victoria. We have a Webley Mark II. Look at that. Formal uniform, 8th Princess Louise's New Brunswick Hussars, circa 1896. He's got a nice 70s do. Field gun in the Northwest Rebellion, 1885. There's a guy buried in the cemetery near us who has the government's stone, the veteran stone, and he was a veteran of the Northwest Rebellion. But he died in the 50s as an old man. He's buried near us. Artillery uniform, Fenian Raid, 1866. Cool, look at that cool uniform. 62nd St. John Volunteer Battalion of New Brunswick, formed in 1863. Well, look at the cool stuff. Look at that cool uniform. Star 1858 double action percussion cap pistol revolver. Neat. And here we have a cartridge for the Snyder rifle. Wow, the lead in there is so old that it's, oxidized white powder. The lead oxide white powder. It's very sweet tasting, apparently. Neat. Defense of our province, 1812 to 1866. There's some fancy-dancy uniforms. Look at all this neat stuff. Percussion, flintlocks. Flintlock pistols. In February 1813, the 104th New Brunswick Regiment of Foot received orders to proceed to Quebec to reinforce British troops defending Upper Canada against forthcoming American offensive. Huh. Imagine the cavalry comes down upon you and the guy swipes at your head, or your neck with that thing as they're riding past. Or your shoulder, or anywhere else for that matter. Yeah. 1793, war between Britain and France. Now look at this dapper fellow. Yeah, there's a lot of red uniforms in this part. Here's one too. What is this? Loyalist. Oh, it's Loyalists. Yeah, during the War of Independence. Cool. Masting in the American Revolutionary War. Some masting. Beginning in the 1760s, New Brunswick became an important source of masts and spurs used by the Royal Navy. Cool. Here are some pennies from 1740, the halfpenny and a farthing, and the French sol. Yeah, neat. Clash of cultures between the Acadians and, the British and stuff. blah, blah. Cool, very cool. And look at the uniforms. It's really neat. That's a rather large lock and key. 17th century signal cannon. Cool. Here's a carronade, which was used for close-in lobbing shells. They fire all kinds of stuff like this for getting fouled in the rigging of enemy ships. Early military past, like really early. Here's Acadians and natives. And this cabinet actually has some old native war material in it. That's cool. Siege of Fort Latour, 1645. She's probably worried because she doesn't want to be, you know, carried away. So now we're outside at the Military Museum. We're about to look at all these vehicles. So one has to wonder where they would have got a Soviet tank. It's a bit beat up, but you know, maybe they captured it from the Taliban. I mean, who knows? Like, it might have been in Afghanistan, but here's where the big fuel cans would be. It's obviously operational. It's been moved recently. You can see by the muck. Well, is that ever cool? The Soviet era, Cold War era tank. That is neat. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things here. I remember these trucks from when I was in the Army Reserves a long time ago. Now in a museum. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, anyway. Yeah, cool. Oh my God. The old Iltis. I had one of these signed out to me. I used to drive the TOIC and the CO on exercise in one of these. Towed a trailer. We had a little trailer to tow. Yes, boy, this is certainly familiar. Here's your NATO standard lights and all that. And this was the heating. You pull those tabs out. There was no heat or cool in this. It was airflow over the hot engine. That's the only way you can heat the inside of here. Yeah, and there's a rack down there for your C7 rifle. Man, Bombardier, see? Bombardier. Yes, boy. I haven't seen one of these in years. Well, we're turning around to go back to the museum because yours truly forgot his glasses. I think I took them off to, you know, read something up close. So, my glasses are back at the museum. That's typical Terry.
That's how old you are.
My glasses don't belong in there, though. We're no longer at the museum, but look at this cool old bridge layer, mobile bridge here at Canadian Forces Base Gagetown. We're going to stop in at the Tim Hortons for a bagel and some tea or coffee before we carry on looking at some of the outdoor displays. So this is a mobile artillery piece. What'd you say the gun was, 155 millimeters?
Yes.
155 millimeter cannon. It's an M109 mobile artillery. Now, Jeremy's dad was deployed in one of these, I guess in Europe, during the Cold War. And he was up top of this thing doing some sort of maintenance when somebody triggered the gun and went off by accident, right?
Not by accident. They didn't know he was up there.
They didn't know he was up there. Gunner didn't know he was up there. And he suffered hearing problems for 2 years, you say? Constant ringing in his ear. Apparently they found him off of the thing on his back with the blood coming out of his ears. Just walking up and down here, having a look at all the various vehicles. I'll do a little slideshow of them.